Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. And more than likely, if you're watching this review, you might be one of my new reviewers because this is my first time doing a review for Teen Mom 2. I watch Teen Mom all the time, but I never did the review of it. I do reviews for other shows. But I'm like, it be pissing me off so much, and I be having so much to say. I'm like, I need to broaden my horizon and do other shows. So this is my first review for Teen Mom 2. This is season 8, episode 11, Swiping and Griping. And I'm going to do it in parts because, of course, as we know, there are 5 girls on the show. Some are cool, some irk my fucking nerves. And as you might not know, I am very honest. If you are one of my regular reviewers or one of my regular viewers, you know how I get down, so let's just get it started. I'm going to start with, I'll start with Caitlin. So Caitlin, as we know, is the mother of 2 boys by Joe and Javi. She's pregnant with her 3rd baby by a 3rd guy. That alone irks my damn nerves. But, you know, the beginning of the episode, we find out that, you know, Joe was talking to producers saying, you know, that he went to Kale and said that he wanted to get 50-50, that he wanted to discuss getting 50-50 custody of his son with her, Isaac. I think it's a good idea. I'm trying to think of how to be politically correct and say this. You have some single parents who be like, I wish the dad would do more. I wish he would just help out. But my thing is, I feel like you can't want him to help out when you need his help. You should want him to be a full-time dad. And the fact that y'all relationship didn't work out doesn't mean that he should not have ample time with his son or with his child. So, you know, when Joe said he talked to her about it, that Kayla was against it and she was pissed off and was cussing and fussing and griping. And my thing is, you already share 50-50 custody with Javi for Lincoln. So why are you so pissed off that Joe is asking for the same thing that Javi has? They're trying to be good fathers. They're not trying to say you're a bad mother. They're not trying to, you know, as she said, take their kids away from her. Joe did say, you know, how she said, why would you bring this up now? Why would you bring this up now when I'm 6 months pregnant? You know, you and Javi, you're trying to take my kids away from me. My thing is, it's not Joe's fault that you're pregnant again. At all. So that has nothing to do with it. And not only that, the fact that you're having a 3rd baby, you're going to need more help anyway. And even besides that whole fact, we've all seen just episode after episode, how when Kale needs some help with the kids, she calls on Javi or Joe to ask, hey, I have to go do A, B, and C. Can you get the kids some extra time? And they always oblige to say, yeah. But when we saw the last episode, when Joe asked if he can come see Isaac, Kale said no. So my thing is, again, you as a single parent can't only want your child's father to help you out when it's comfortable for you. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, I don't see it as a horrible thing that he wants just more time with his son. I think that's more. You know how many single parents who don't have the help that you have would wish to God that their child's father would want to really be in it together. To be like, look, let's just share custody. It's not about, I know it'll be hard for you to not have him there all the time, but when you need me because you have something to do, you have no issue with letting him come be with me for longer. But why is it that? Because you feel like it's not convenient for you that it shouldn't be done. I think that's bullshit, and that's one reason why Kale gets on my goddamn nerves. You know, Joe says, you know, because she wasn't open to discuss it, that he went ahead and talked to his lawyer and just had him file the petition. Again, I tried to talk to you about it. You didn't want to talk about it. You wanted to cuss and fuss. So I just did what I felt like I had to do, which was go ahead and just get the ball rolling. And some guys won't even, most guys won't try to get 50-50 custody. You know what I'm saying? Not when you were a teen parent. You know, y'all got pregnant, 15, 16. The kid is like 7 now. So, when he moved to where you were. So, I don't think it's unfair for him to say, I want to be sure that I'm able to spend as much time as I can with my son. So let's just get something in writing so that when it is time for me saying, I want to see my son, you can't tell me no. And that's basically all this is. It's just him saying, I want to have it in writing that I get to see my son this at least half of the time. And, it might suck for her. I get it. It sucks. She's a mom. She loves her children. No one said that she does not love her children. But the dads love the kids just as much. And you are lucky to have a child's father who wants to be there and help you like that. Because you can see with some of the other moms on the show, that ain't the same case. Brianna not like that. Even Janelle and her, Jace's father not in the picture. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it can go either way. So, yeah. So, of course, Kel is pissed that he did it because she received the papers. And, you know what I'm saying? She's pissed off because she felt like everything was fine. And then out of the blue, he brought up 50-50 custody. He said that he wasn't going to file. He wanted to talk about it. She then said, and I was pissed off. And yes, I did go off. I was cussing and fussing and arguing. And the next thing I know, I was served. So I felt like he lied to me. Well, he didn't lie to you. He came to you about it. You blew him off. And he did what he felt he had to do. So it's not like he lied to you. He could have not said anything to you. And when he says something to you, you could have not blew up at him. And then he might not have had to fight. Y'all could have had a conversation. And it might not have had to go that far. But Kel has this issue of this thing of playing victim. To like, oh my God, Javi such an asshole. Oh my God, Joe's such a piece of shit for filing for cuts. There's different things where I'm looking like sometimes it's all about a conversation. But Kel, a lot of times, as we've noticed, she doesn't like to have conversations. She likes to be like, I don't want to talk about it. That's not what I want. And you stupid if you don't want to do it my way. And we've seen her do that time and time and time again. So, But I'm like, we see that things are not how they should be. They're not all smooth sailing. It's when you want help with the kids or when you see fit to them getting them. We know that you also let Joe get him when he wants to, but it's always based on your schedule. And that's the thing that, is the issue for him, is that it's all based on your schedule. So it's more of a thing, it's being comfortable for you, and he just wants something in writing. And we also see how, when Javi came back home, how the kids are going from house to house. She was, she's in school. Just a lot is going on. So it's not like, oh my God, they have a set schedule and everything works out fine. You feel like stuff works out fine because when you need help, they're always there to help you. And sometimes that doesn't mean everything's fine. What else? She also then says how maybe V is the reason that he's going for 50-50 custody, saying when she talked to V a while ago, I think maybe last year, how V mentioned that he should try to get 50-50 custody to prevent Kel from trying to move. And her friend was like, what, would you even move? And she's like, well, not right now, but, eventually I'm going to want to get a job, and there are no jobs here. Meaning, eventually she'll want to move, which is not fair to anyone because, one, you married Javi and moved to a different state with Joe's son, and because y'all did not have a custody agreement, you were able to do that. Then he moved there to be closer to his son, so he moved him and his girlfriend to where you were for his son. So my thing is, I would do it too because it can't be based on what is best for you. We have a child, we're not together, so we have to be in this thing together. So we did later see that Joe shows up to Isaac's soccer game like for the first time this season, and she kind of was like, I doubt if he comes, he never comes, and this is the 5th game. But Joe showed up. Isaac was happy. It was awkward as hell at the soccer game. It's because they didn't really talk. You know what I'm saying? He was on one side, and then she was, a little bit over, and they just weren't like communicating or whatever. And then when they had the conversation at the house where Kel was asking Isaac, were you surprised your dad was there? He's like, yeah, I was. And she's like, yeah, me too, because he never comes to your game. I felt like that was some passive aggressive bullshit to put in Isaac's head. Because my thing is, you should just be saying to him, aren't you happy your dad came to your game? And leave it at that. But to remind the child that your father never comes to your games, to me, was some bullshit. And it's the reason why I say Kel is, don't get me wrong, Kel's a great mom. You know what I'm saying? But her ways get on my nerves sometimes. Again, I feel like she wants things her way. And she's accomplished so much with being a teen mom, and that's great. But at the same time, she's sometimes just spiteful and just, she just says stuff that I'm looking like it wasn't no need for that. And she just wants things her way. And if they're not, then she'll just be like, well, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. And I think that's stupid. So that was the whole thing with Kel's storyline today. We see Leah. This is going to be quick. Leah made herself a profile on a dating site. She's nervous. Leah has not dated for 2 years. Leah meets a guy on the dating site and they go on a date. It's very awkward. Very awkward. Very awkward. And she's like, I won't have a second date. And the reason I made that so quick is because I was just like, okay, whatever. I feel like Leah is not in the headspace to date. I'm not saying that as a single mom that you shouldn't have a person to make your life easier or have a mate. But I'm saying you already have 3 kids. One of your daughters is sick. I'm just like, do you really want to focus on dating someone right now? But at the same time, I feel like I thought she was trying to date someone to like get into a relationship. We see that she went on this date. It's like she just put her foot in the pond, and she said like, I just don't want to date around. I want to like find someone like to be in love with. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. If you want to date around, I'm like, cause she moves fast. She met Corey, they got pregnant, they got married, they got divorced. She met Jeremy. I can't remember if they got pregnant first or got married first, and then that, and she would. It's a cycle with her. I want her to break that cycle of meeting someone, falling in love, getting married, having a baby, and then getting a divorce. I want her to take her time, date around, try to get yourself together first. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have time to go to school, how you got time to date? Pick one. I think you should figure out your life first and get yourself in check before you try to add another person to your life. And that's just my personal opinion. Brianna is one of the reasons why I decided to start reviewing Teen Mom, simply because her and her family irks my nerves. And I'm going to tell you why. I feel like Brianna and Louis, who was the father of the baby she's pregnant with now, I feel like she's consistently trying to make him suffer for cheating on her. I feel like had he not cheated on her and he still wasn't as helpful as she wants him to be, she wouldn't bitch a lot, and neither would her family. I think the fact that he cheated makes her feel like, you cheated, so that gives me the right to keep saying to you, you're not going to be a good father because you cheated on me. And my thing is, I want Brianna to separate the two. Was he an asshole for cheating? Absolutely. All men are assholes for cheating. But you can't tell him what kind of father he's going to be before the baby gets here. And my thing is, if you consistently keep beating him down, it's going to make him not want to come around once the baby's born. So, and I feel like her sister is fucking crazy. And her sister was consistently butting her nose in. And her sister is rude as fuck. And her sister and her mom is very overbearing. But at the same time, I understand that because they all live in the same house. They live in an apartment, or I don't know if it's an apartment or a condo, whatever. But, to me, it don't look like it's a large space. It doesn't look like it's enough space to have her mom, her sister, her daughter, and this new baby. So I feel like y'all already struggling on some level. You know what I'm saying? And you are now having this other baby with this new man. And it's like y'all are trying to find reasons why your life is going to be hard with the second baby. And I feel like if you can blame this guy who cheated on you as the reasons why it's going to be. Because my thing is, give him a chance to be up, like, let the baby get here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my thing is, not only that, You knew he was irresponsible when you was messing with him. You knew he had a baby elsewhere who he wasn't taking care of, but you decided to get pregnant, and you are now pregnant with this child. So my thing is, I hate when someone be with someone and know they're a piece of shit, and then you want to complain about them being a piece of shit when it's about you. But he was a piece of shit to the other child. So why would you then have a baby? But that's neither here nor there. So, you know, Rihanna and Lewis is talking about the baby shower, which was an epic fail as far as them having a cohesive baby shower. You know, that she tried to fake them being a couple. That didn't work. She invited an ex-boyfriend to the baby shower. That was fucking crazy. Her mom was pissed that Lewis's friend brought a camera. That was weird to me as well too. But I get how people vlog themselves. So, because again, I'm on YouTube and I watch other families that record themselves even when they go to different places. So, just because I'm coming here with him doesn't mean I'm trying to record this. Why can't I be recording me? But you know, her mom was pissed about that. It was just a mess. And it was just stupid. And, you know, he was mad because, of course, she invited an ex. And he like, look, let's just get over that. Let's not even deal with it. It is what it was. It is what it is. I didn't like it, and that's it. He then tells her he has to leave for school. I'm like, what kind of school you gotta go to leave for? And it turns out he's trying to go to truck driving school. I know truck drivers, and they make good money. If you can get into the business and make those long hauls, it's really good money. And my thing is, that's smart. If you don't have a regular job, or if you can't get a good paying job where you are, and you can become a truck driver and you can make money for your child, that's a plus. You are away from your child, absolutely. But so are people who, you know, do different jobs. Like astronauts be gone for a long time. You know, even doctors who be on call, sometimes they're gone for like 12 hours a day. Even, you know, the military. Mothers and fathers have to leave to go to their job and be gone. Like Javi was gone for like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? But he joined the army because he wanted to make money for his family. I feel like a truck driver is kind of the same thing in the aspect of you have to leave to do a job to provide for your family. And that's what you want him to do. You want him to be able to help you pay for this child. So if he like, okay, I can go to truck driving school, you know, I have to be gone for a month the first time. I have to do a 10-month training. You know, is it going to be hard? Absolutely. But when you think about it, you know, it's the same thing. What if he wanted to go away to college to get a degree? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I guess so. You know, you're going to miss the birth. Which is, yes, it's, you know, not ideal. But sometimes people forget that you have to sacrifice in order to better yourself for your child. So if you have to work 5 jobs to build up the money to go to college, you have to sacrifice sometimes. And I feel like Brianna's family wants him to be this spectacular, rich, self-sufficient person out the blue, when he was a piece of shit before. He wasn't making a lot of money before. He wasn't. It was other things. The same person he is now is who he was when they were just kicking it, and the same person he was before she found out he was pregnant with. Before she found out she was pregnant, and before she found out he was cheating on her when she was like, I think like maybe 3 months. But I'm like, why are you not happy that he's trying to do something to better himself? To me, that Brianna is stupid in that aspect. That she wants him to just out the blue change, and she wants him to do things her way. But my thing is, what is you doing? And not only that, but now I'm not even trying to blame her. I just don't like how they act as if they didn't know who this man was beforehand. And now, and again, I feel like it's because he cheated that they keep saying how he's a piece of shit and how he's not going to be a good father. And I'm like, give him a chance to do some stuff. Tell him, okay, you want to go away and make this money? Okay, go make that money. And like he said, when you come back, you got to pay for A, B, and C. And he said, yeah, then I'll have the money to do it. Give that man a chance before you start, oh my God, I'm just so sad, I'm just so stressed because, you know, I'm going to have a baby without you. Suck it up. You were already a single parent to one baby, and you decided to have a second baby. So you can't keep playing the woe was me, because that's not an option now. And if he's coming saying this, I can make some money, I'm going to have to leave my life for 10 months too. But at the end of the day, it's going to make me better. Give him that chance to do that, and don't kind of just keep complaining about the shit. I'm just like, it's just crazy. So from there we see, Brianna and them are at like the pool or something. They were somewhere. I can't remember where. But, they were talking about Nova's graduation at school. And, they then was talking negatively about Nova's dad in front of Nova. And I'm like, why do they talk so much shit about Nova's dad and about the new baby's dad in front of this little girl? That's the reason why them women sit around and talk so openly and negatively about the men around. But the weird part about it is there are no men in their lives. If you notice, they're all women in their family. You know what I'm saying? And they sit around, and I'm like, Nova is going to see that's how they are. They are women. They are strong. They do whatever on their own. They're self-sufficient. But at some time, you have to break that cycle of men in our family being treated wrong, and we're going to just do it on our own. Like, be a better example for her. Or like, just don't have those kind of conversations in front of her. Don't dog men in front of her, because then she's going to think that's how I'm supposed to talk to men or about men, and I'm me, and I don't care. And I'm like, especially talking about her father in front of her, saying, he don't answer when I call him. He ain't never around. Don't have them kind of conversations. I'm like, that's the shit that I'm looking like, y'all irking my damn nerves. Y'all are just, it's just too much, just too much. And what else? They were also mad about the guy going to school. Why would he do that? Why would he wait till now to do it? Why didn't he go 5 months ago? Why didn't Brianna wear a goddamn condom or wear some birth control? Why would Brianna let him be the person she's choosing to date? Because he wasn't shit then. Again, if you make better decisions beforehand, it would save you a lot of heartache later. And I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to blame Brianna, but you can't blame everything on the guy, because again, she was happy with him initially. She was happy with him and what he was, until she found out he was cheating. That's when it was an issue. That's when, oh my God, you're not going to be a good father. Oh my God, I want to have a miscarriage. I want to put the baby up for adoption. You ruined this. We could have been a family, but we're not together now, so we can't, this can't work. You can be, you don't have to be a couple to be a family. You know what I'm saying? If you're mature enough to handle it. But again, she's not mature enough. Last we see, they're at Nova's graduation. Nova's crying. Her dad did show up, which was beautiful. But also, they were still kind of ragging on him a little bit. I'm happy you came, because you never come to anything, But I'm happy you're here. It's like, sometimes you don't have to say or take those little jabs at people. And I mean, that goes both ways. Even if the dad would say something like, I wish y'all stopped calling me, or whatever. Just be there for the kids, and all that adult stuff, throw it out the window. Just leave it where it's at. Chelsea's thing was easy too. It was Father's Day. Aubrey was with Adam. Even though when she was with Adam, they went to church, and she made a Father's Day little paper thing, but she made it for Cole. And that's basically what it was. And that was her whole thing. It was Father's Day. Aubrey had to go with her dad. She did see her dad. She said they played like baseball or something, and it was it was cool. That was it. Last but not least, Janelle. Janelle won't even be that much of a crazy thing. So we come to find out that Janelle and Barbara have reached a agreement with custody with Jace, and Barbara will still have like permanent or primary custody of him. And Janelle will get visitation. She'll get like every other weekend. When he's out of school, she'll get it for like 2 weeks. When he's on, like, they'll like rotate, or they'll like switch holidays. And she'll have him during the summer. So they showed when Janelle first walked out, she was like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk. So when Barbara walked out, and from there, one of the producers showed a text from Janelle, which said, Jace didn't need her. Barbara is his mother now. He doesn't need me anymore. For me, that shows how immature Janelle still is. You forget the reason your mother has custody of your son is because you were a shitty mother when you were 16. You continue to be a shitty mother just in general until just recently. Is Janelle the same person she was when she was 16? She's not. She has grown. But at the same time, she still has her selfish moments. And you can still tell that she's not fully capable of taking care of a lot of kids. She gets frustrated a lot. And she has a short temper. And I feel like she wants Jace back more for how the public sees her. I don't think she really wants Jace back, and that's just my personal opinion. So, Barbara comes out, and that's when she gave the details of everything. She said how Jace's therapist said it wouldn't be a good idea to put Jace in the home with Janelle. She mentions how it's also because Jace is scared of David. And I just had to move my camera. I believe that Jace has some kind of apprehensionness. I can't think if that's a real word or not, because it's like almost 3 a.m. But you can tell that when Jace is there and Dave is there, Jace is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Jace has said in the car with Barbara how he didn't like being at his mom's house. That it was horrible. He never said why. And I myself think David is a fucking asshole. That's just my personal opinion. But Barbara's happy with it. Janelle, of course, is pissed. And, they're like, well, is it permanent? And she was like, well, if she wants it to change, she would have to take me back to court. She would have to prove that I'm unfit in order to bring me back to court. So she was like, so, it's permanent for right now. She also says how it was a waste of all this time and all this money going back and forth to court, because all that really happened was she got, like standardized visits, and that's basically what it was. Janelle, of course, she's mad. Janelle came out and she was like, I don't want to talk. I'm just mad. I don't want to talk. And then they're like, okay, we'll just follow you to your car. Camera's still rolling. And then she's like, well, I guess I'm happy because, now she can't tell me when I can have them. We have a set meeting place, so she can't say where do we meet and all this other stuff. But the thing that pissed me off the most about Janelle is you complaining as if your mother is the reason for all of this, and it's really you. Even when she was like, we now have a set meeting place, so she can't be saying, I'm not coming here, I'm not coming there. But when they would be doing meetings and stuff to meet up to pick him up and drop him off, it would be Janelle like, well, can I meet you here because we have to go pick up Kaiser from Nathan and then Miranda from whatever. You were the one trying to get it to different places because of what you had going on. So again, it's a thing of when she was making it seem like her life was so difficult because of Barbara, but it's because you were not a good mother in the beginning, and this is the end results of it. Now, I just don't think Janelle is, I just think Janelle is crazy. So she also said how she would have to prove her mom was unfit, and that's the only way that she would be able to get, full custody back. She was hoping she'll get full custody, but she's happy that she at least get the visitations. She then says, but the good part about it is because we had a settlement, if I take her back to court, she can't bring up anything I did when I was 16 or before now, because that will all be, like, it won't count later. She would have to have, like, new things about me. But at the same time, Janelle would have to have reasons to say Barbara is unfit. At this point, it's just a lot of back and forth. Janelle was saying how her mom is no longer her mom. She's just Barbara now. She doesn't care. And then David's piece of shit ass said, I hate Barbara. She's the worst piece of shit. This is my thing. Any person who lets their boyfriend or girlfriend talk about their mom is a piece of shit. I don't care. My thing is, if I have issues with my mom and I call my mom a piece of shit, I can do that because she's my mama. You can't say shit about my mom. And the fact that Janelle allows has always allowed her boyfriends, to dog her mother. She has always done that. Makes, in my eyes, Janelle a bad daughter. Is Barbara perfect? Not by a long shot. We know Barbara can probably be difficult. But my thing is, I felt like she stepped in to take care of Jace when Janelle couldn't do it. Except she couldn't do it. If Janelle could take Jace back, the courts give her Jace back. It's the reason the courts have not given her him back. So she needs to face that reality. But letting David just talk shit, was like, yeah, and I was crying and she didn't care. And then they're like, yeah, because, her mom's a piece of shit. I can't believe it. She doesn't care. David, shut the fuck up. Okay? Just shut up. Janelle, deal with it. Make your life better. Get some therapy. Get some anger issues ironed out. Just do those things. Try with this visitation and let's see how that works out, because we've seen you be like, I'm too tired, I don't want to get Jace, I'm gonna get him a little later. You know what I'm saying? Or you've not been able to get him. Hell, you didn't want to go to court because you had a goddamn gonna catch a concert before. So you know what I'm saying? You can't act as if Barbara has no reason to feel like you are unfit, because for a while you were unfit. But she says how she's just happy her mom can't keep Jace from her. She wants to spend more one-on-one time with Jace as she's talking to David in a separate scene. But then in the next breath says, yeah, we should take Jace and David's daughter, I can't think what her name is right now, on a vacation. My thing is, you need to spend one-on-one time with your son, which should not include David. Try that first. Because if you consistently... Because, David's going to be there. We know that. But again, you and your son never have one-on-one time, because David is always there, plus you have your other two kids, plus David's other kid. He doesn't have any one-on-one time with you, so that's why he probably feels awkward. Even says how she's going to try to figure out why he's be having these anger issues and these problems with Barbara. Well, probably because y'all arguing and fussing and fighting over him, and this is his way of acting out. But at the end, Barbara does tell Jace that they went to court. He will be staying with her, and that he will have visitations with his mom. And he seems happy, but at the same time, he don't care. He wants a goddamn cupcake. So that was my review for Teen Mom 2. And I'll be back next week with a new review. Well, no, actually, a show comes on Wednesday, so I'll be doing it then. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time. I am Jay Lee. This is Jaylee's Corner.